What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is. It's your girl Ash. Y'all bringing y'all another episode of Black Girl Interrupted. Y'all, it is Thursday, and I'm so excited, baby. When I tell you, I've been looking so forward to tomorrow, baby. I've been looking for Friday since Monday, and I'm so glad that it is on the way. I promise I'm so glad that it's on the way. But again, y'all, welcome back to another episode of Black Girl Interrupted. Y'all already know who I am. It is the host, it is the creator, it is the CEO of Black Girl Interrupted podcast, your girl Ash, bringing y'all another great episode of Black Girl Interrupted. So before I even get into tonight's conversation, let me say this. Let me address some things really quick. Well, just one thing in particular. Let me address something. I have received 22 messages with regards to this P. Diddy situation. Let me say this. I'm not going to speak about that until next month because next month is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So if y'all want to hear my take on that, y'all tune in next month. Y'all tune in next week as I kick off Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And that will definitely be one of the conversations. So for everybody that has sent me a message that was like, Ashley, we know you're going to say something. I'm not going to say anything right now. A lot of the story is still developing. And when I do the show, when I do the episode with regards to P. Diddy, I need to make sure I got all my I's dotted and my T's crossed. I need to make sure I have all the information before I bring y'all a show because y'all know I like to have my receipts. Y'all know I love to bring facts. I like to bring stats. I like to bring numbers because, see, baby, y'all loves to tussle. And I'm not tussling with nobody because, see, I'm going to bring y'all the real true facts, not no assumptions, and then I'm going to let y'all tussle it out amongst yourselves. Excuse me, y'all. My sinuses are really, truly bothering me. I went outside today and I don't know. I just been sneezing and stopped up ever since. But I was not going to let me do my show. I was not going to let that stop me from doing my show tonight. So just to let y'all know, I will not be speaking on the P. Diddy situation, at least not tonight. Okay? Y'all will get my 5 cents on the story and other things of that nature. But again, happy Thursday. We are one day away from the weekend. I hope everyone has had a beautiful week. I hope everyone gets a chance this weekend to just rest, reset, and relax. I'm sorry. Rest, relax, and reset. That's what I want everyone to do this weekend. Like I said, things have been real crazy for everybody. We've been busy, but again, I just want everyone to take this time this weekend just to rest. I want you to relax and release. Like, don't even carry last week into next week because you can't change it. So y'all already know what I do before I even start my episode. Y'all know I always do my mental health check-ins because I want to make sure everyone is doing good. I say this every episode, so yes, I know it may sound repetitive, but hey, it is what it is. But I hope everyone, whatever it is that you're going through, I pray that you get over it. I pray that you grow through your situations. I pray that you allow God to move you in the direction that He wants you to move in. And I pray that whatever is affecting you mentally, physically, or emotionally, I pray that you are healed by God's stripes. So again, before we get started, y'all know I always love to do a mental health check-in. So here's a little something that I hope will get y'all through the week.
Success can be a lonely road. It can be a tough road. It can be a hard road. It's not for everyone. Those who follow others like sheep will never know who they truly are. Only those who follow their own path can discover their true potential. Those who fly alone have the strongest wings. Those who walk alone have the strongest direction. The rest will always be in need of others for their survival. They will always need attention, need recognition to survive. I am at peace alone, needing no attention, no recognition, and still I thrive. I'm not saying those who have support are weak. I'm not saying you must go at it alone to gain strength. This is just for those who have fought battles alone, those who have felt like they don't fit in, those who have never had support in anything they do, all of those who feel no one believes in them. You don't need them to believe in you if you believe in you. You don't need their support if you've got your own back. The best part is when you truly live the life you want to live, when you speak your truth, when you embrace who you are, then you gain real respect and real love. People love those who have the guts to be themselves, those who have the courage to follow their heart. Why? It's rare. Why? Because most people wish they could do the same. Show them the way. Keep going. Believe in yourself. It will all come good in the end. And when it does, you won't have only inspired yourself to be more. You will have inspired so many others.
I had to learn to fight alone. And because of that, I am strong alone. I am strong. Full stop. I developed inner strength that can't be broken. I am unbreakable. Because of the pain, I am strong. Because of the struggle, I have character most will never know. I appreciate others more than ever. I have more compassion than ever. I had to go deep into the darkness. Now I have more depth. Now I can see clearer. I had to face huge internal challenges. Now I can defeat any challenge. I will destroy every challenge. I am proud of who I have become. I am proud I have overcome. I am proud I kept going. I am proud of who I am, who I've become. I am proud I stayed true to myself because now I can live as myself with respect from others and most importantly, pride and respect from myself.
Bye bye bye. All right. I hope that inspired and encouraged somebody to get up and keep going. Um, and it's okay to rock alone. It's okay not to have a crowd of people around you. It's okay to stand out. It's okay to be different from everybody else because God created you that way. God created you in a manner that He saw fit for you. So don't worry about what other people have to say. You just focus on you and just know that it's always on God's time and never on ours. And whatever it is that you set your mind to do, you could do anything. You just got to put in the work. You just have to stay dedicated and stay focused and don't let anyone distract you or throw you off your path. Uh, all right. So, as again, I'm still doing my mental health check-in. So, drop in the comments and let me know how you're feeling. Let me know how you're feeling tonight. Again, today is Thursday. We are one day away from the weekend. And baby, let me tell you something. One thing I'm doing, I'm relaxing, I'm resting, and I'm resetting for another work week. But for the most part, I'm just gonna rest, relax, and take care of me. It's all about me this weekend, not anybody else, just me. That's it. I'm just chilling, I'm relaxing, I'm not doing anything. It's gonna be my time where I reset and just focus on what I have going on and the things that I have coming up in the near future. So I'm excited about that. All right. So just know that I love you and I pray that whatever it is that you're going through, I pray that you get through and just whatever you do, do not give up. All right. So tonight's episode, as we close out National Women's History Month, I just want to say thank y'all for the beautiful support, for the love. Um, for the shares, the posts, the comments, the interactions. I really appreciate that. I'm very humbled for the love and the support that you guys show me consistently. So thank y'all so much for pushing Black Girl Interrupted up that ladder. I appreciate it like so much. I'm so humbled. I'm so grateful for everything that you guys do for me, for everything that you continue to do for me. And I appreciate y'all just loving on me and encouraging me to keep going and never to give up on my dream. So tonight, as I close out National Women's History Month, we're going to be talking about the Leesburg Stockade Girls. I bet y'all are like, what? Where do you keep getting all these people, these conversations? Like, we've never heard of this. So the Leesburg Stockade, what it was an event in the civil rights movement in which a group of African-American teenage and preteen girls were arrested for protesting racial segregation in Americus, Georgia, and they were imprisoned without charges for 60 days in the poor conditions in the Lee County Public Works Building in Leesburg, Georgia. So again, the Leesburg, that was an event. The Leesburg Stockade, my apologies, y'all. So again, just to repeat that for you, it was an event in the civil rights movement in which a group of African-American teenage and preteen girls were arrested for protesting racial segregation in Americus, Georgia. And they were imprisoned. Now, mind you, listen to this. They were imprisoned without charges for 60 days in poor conditions in the Lee County Public Works Building in Leesburg, Georgia. So, like, can you imagine that you are sitting in a jail with no charges for 60 days in poor conditions? I mean, yeah, we see that now in this day and age. We do see it. We do see these jails, that are poor conditions, that are housing these inmates. I've talked about inmates that have been unalived in these county jails. I spoke about the young man in Atlanta who died in his cell after being eaten alive by bed bugs. So yeah, these poor conditions don't seem so far away from us, and it's still happening in present day. So what started this was the fact that in July of 1963, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or the SNCC, in cooperation with the National Association for the Advancement of Color People, aka the NAACP, they organized a protest march in Americus from the Friendship Baptist Church to a segregated movie theater. As part of the protest, a group of young women joined the line to attempt to purchase tickets at the movie theater, and were arrested for doing so. After being briefly held in Dawson, Georgia, the protesters were moved to the Leesburg Stockade, hence the name, the Leesburg Stockade Girls. So here's a little intro and give you a little bit more information about the Leesburg Stockade Girls.
The Leesburg Stockade Incident of 1963, The Stolen Girls. In July 1963, 1 year before the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, a group of adolescent African American girls ages 12 to 15 were incarcerated in the Lee County Stockade following their arrest for challenging segregation laws. They are sometimes referred to as the Leesburg Stockade Stolen Girls because their parents were never informed of where they were being held. On a hot and steamy July evening in 1963 in Americus, Georgia, 11 young black teen girls went to the white ticket window of the Martin Theater as part of a peaceful protest to openly defy a lifetime of racist segregation customs. The police were called, who ordered the youth to disperse. When they failed to do so, they were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and blocking the sidewalk. The girls were packed into a windowless van and driven away without any confirmation of where they were headed. The girls were taken to the town of Dawson, 30 miles from Americus, where they spent the night in jail. For many of them, it was not their first night in jail, since it was common to arrest black children who were protesting. Never formally charged, they were jailed in squalid conditions for 45 days in the Leesburg Stockade, a deteriorating Civil War-era structure situated in the backwoods of Leesburg, Georgia. Only 20 miles away, parents had no knowledge of where authorities were holding their children, nor did the girls have any way to contact their parents. The building lacked proper plumbing, running water, bedding, and sanitary supplies. The girls were ordered inside and found that the interior comprised one narrow cell, 12 feet by 40 feet. It was oppressively hot and infested with spiders and cockroaches. There was no furniture other than a pile of decomposing mattresses stacked in a corner. They were not fed for the first 2 days of imprisonment. They survived the following days on rations of undercooked hamburgers and egg sandwiches provided by their jailers. During their time in the stockade, more girls joined the originally arrested girls, making the living conditions even worse. A month into their confinement, Danny Lyon, a 21-year-old photographer for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, learned of the girls' whereabouts and sneaked into the stockade grounds to take pictures of the girls through barred windows. Lyon documented the broken toilet and shower and the rough, grimy floor of the stockade. His photos were published in a number of black-owned newspapers and magazines. After national outcry, the girls were released to their families. In perhaps the ultimate indignity, many parents later received a bill with a charge of $2 for every day of their child's imprisonment. Many of the Leesburg stolen girls continue to be active in the Sumter County movement, but receive little recognition of their struggles. Many of the women are currently speaking up about their experiences. The surviving women were nominated for the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award in 2016. Until next time, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Press the bell to be notified of future uploads. Thank you for watching.
Just imagine, let me let that soak in for just a moment, because just imagine being a 12-year-old child incarcerated. They say 45 days, but they were actually incarcerated for 60 days. You didn't eat for the first 2, and no one knew where you were. You're in this cell with roaches, rats, just, Let me take this in for a minute. Just these deplorable conditions that these children were subjected to. And again, if you go back and let me go back to that. So again, these women, well, teens, I'm so sorry. So in 1963, let me go back, July of 1963, the SNCC, or the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, in the cooperation with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, organized a protest march in Americus, Georgia, from the Friendship Baptist Church to a segregated movie theater. And as part of the protest, a group of young women joined the line to attempt to purchase tickets at the movie theater and were arrested for doing so. After they were held briefly in Dawson, Georgia, the protesters were then moved to the Leesburg Stockade. They were never formally charged. Let me say that first of all. They were never formally charged, but they were held for 60 days in deplorable conditions. No running water. I don't believe the toilet was working. And these girls did not eat for the first 2 days because they weren't given any food. And then after they were given food, they were given undercooked hamburgers and egg sandwiches. Let me just take a deep breath on that one, because that almost reminds me of what goes on today in present time. Again, as I told y'all, slavery just ended 155 years ago. Some of us still have ancestors that are still alive that are 100 years old. You do the math. 155 years ago, just ended. And we're seeing it in repeat in present time. Just like when I did the buck breaking episode, that still goes on in present time. We see this. Men emasculated. We see this. So every story that I've covered, we're still seeing this in present time. So it has not gone away. But for these girls between the ages of 12 and 15 to be incarcerated for 60 days with no charges in deplorable conditions, what's changed? What has changed? Hold on, we got a couple of comments. Hold on. Hey, B. She says, yes, red lips, because I'm on fire tonight. I'm fire. We're closing out National Women's History Month, talking about the Leesburg Stockade Girls. Night Rider, hey, thank you for tuning in. He says, WP are some wicked demons. Very much so. Very much so. And the things that they did to us in past time is still going on in present time. But people are not ready to have those conversations. A lot of people are not ready to sit down and have these conversations. And this is why, like I say, when I went to selecting the women that I wanted to discuss this month for National Women's History Month, this is why I wanted to pull out these hidden figures, because maybe the people in Georgia may know about this, but then you have people out here that don't even know our history. So, of course, I'm going to always pay homage to hidden figures. But going back to the Leesburg Stockade Girls, again, between the ages of 12 and 15. And then when they were finally released, after the photographer caught wind of where they were and reported, they were released. And then the families had to pay. They were sent a bill for $2 every day that these girls were incarcerated. 60 times 2, that's what, $120? So you made, and let me say this because it made 0 sense to me. So you're saying that they had to pay for their time in jail, but you arrested them because they were protesting. That makes 0 sense to me. So you mean to tell me you're going to arrest me, but I have to pay for my time? Okay, yeah, you released me, but after I had been incarcerated for 60 days and then had the audacity to send me a bill for $120 because you wanted me to pay $2 for every day that I was incarcerated, because that's what you chose to do. But that's how they did us in those times. They still continue to do us this same way. Like I said, when I did the story and I talked about the deaths of the inmates here in Harris County Jail, deplorable conditions. When the freeze happened, you had these men incarcerated with no heat, no water, no food. What's different between 1963 and 2024? We're still seeing this. It hasn't changed. Only thing that changed is the day and the month and the year. Then when I talked about the young man in Atlanta who was eaten alive by bed bugs, guards never checked on him. These deplorable conditions. No, I'm not saying jail is supposed to be club fed, but come on now. We're not in the 60s anymore. This is 2024. But again, only thing that changes is the day, the month, and the year. We're still seeing this. So, and this is what I mean when I say I don't understand why y'all aren't upset about these things like this. That history is repeating itself. We're seeing this all over again. We're seeing exactly what our parents and our elders experienced. We're now living it in present day. But y'all not mad. I just don't understand how y'all not mad. How are y'all not mad that we are reliving history? How are y'all not upset? Like, why are y'all not getting out here protesting for the rights of Black men and Black women? I just don't understand. But y'all will go stand in line for iPhones and Jordans, but you won't go and step for the rights of our people. Oh, that's right. I forgot why y'all don't do it. Because y'all say our voice doesn't matter. That's right. Oh, I know why y'all don't do it. Because it's not cool to do, right? Okay. I just want to make sure we were clear on that, because it's not cool. Got you. Because you're not getting anything out of it. Got you. So you say. If you don't feel, then don't complain when things don't change for us. You're not trying to provide a type of resolution, so don't complain. But anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, back to the Leesburg Stockade Girls. Y'all know me. I can go off on a tangent and go get on my soapbox, but sometimes I have to come down. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So the Leesburg Stockade Girls, again, the young ladies, let me get their names. I had them pulled back up. I do apologize, y'all. All right. So the Leesburg Stockade Girls, the arrested young ladies included Carol Barner C. You have Gloria Breedlove. You have Pearl Brown, Maddie Crittenden, Diane Dorsey. You have Dr. Shirley Green Reese. You have Verna Hollis, Melinda Jones Williams, Annie Lou Reagans, Laura Ruff, Sandra Russell, Willie Mae Smith, Billy Joe Thornton, and Lulu M. Westbrook. Those were the young ladies that were arrested in 1963 at a protest at a movie theater, who were incarcerated for 60 days without being formally charged. And you have the photographer Danny Lyon. So before I go forward, so it says some of the prisoners were as young as 12 years old, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me when I say this. Some of the prisoners were as young as 12 years old. 12. Incarcerated. It say the conditions in the stockade were poor. The prisoners only had concrete floors to sleep on, water only from the drips from the shower, a single, only one, non-functional toilet, and poor food. So they could only get water from the drips of the shower. The toilet did not work. They had to sleep on concrete floors. Oh, I forgot. They did have mattresses, but they were deteriorating. I'm so sorry. I forgot to put that in there. The prison authorities did not inform the parents of the prisoners of their arrest or their location. And the only way the parents found out about where their children were incarcerated was through the help of a janitor. Did y'all hear what I said? The prison authorities did not inform the parents of the prisoners of their arrest or their location. And they were only found out because of a janitor. Sounds like what happens in present day, right? Okay. Tyree Nichols. Y'all remember that? That happened a year ago. The mother was told they were taking him to the hospital, and then from there he was going to jail. History is definitely repeating itself. Then it goes on to say the young women were threatened with murder, and at one point a rattlesnake was thrown into their cell. Maybe y'all didn't hear me. Let me say it a little louder for the people in the back. The young women were threatened with murder. And at one point they threw a rattlesnake in their cell. This was in 1963. It wasn't too long ago. July of 1963 is when this event occurred. July 1963. That's what, 50 something years ago? Right. Then it goes on to say, after the SNCC and the Senator Harrison A. Williams used a set of photos that were taken again by Danny Lyon to publicize the situation. So when you go back and you think about photos is what helped to get these young ladies released, photographs. After 60 days of being incarcerated in these deplorable conditions, they were then released. And then were sent a bill for $2 a day, every day that they spent incarcerated. Night Rider says, he said 1963 was not that long ago. Brittany Brown says that was 61 years ago. 61. We have parents that are 61 years old. We have some parents that are older than 61 that went through this, that experienced this, okay? 61 years ago. 6-1. Hey, Westworld Music Group, thank you. He says, hey, beautiful. Thank you, my love. But like Night Rider, if you don't mind, I want to go back to your comment. 1963 was not that long ago. 61 years. So which means if slavery ended 155 years ago, now follow me, y'all. Come on, let's do this math together. If slavery ended 155 years ago and the Leesburg Stockade Girls were arrested in 1963, so let's subtract 61 from 155. So slavery had just ended how long ago prior to this? And we're still seeing this in present day. And y'all not mad. Y'all not mad. Y'all not mad enough for me that history is repeating itself. Y'all not mad enough for me that we're not out here fighting for change. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Some of y'all feel like our voices make no sense, like they don't hear us. Let me tell you something. When you go back and you look at our history, history could not be anything without Black history, okay? Let me just go ahead and say that. History could not be anything without Black history. And with the lineage of people that we come behind, you mean to tell me we can't gather the strength from the ancestors that paved the way for us to make a change? Are you serious? You're telling me, baby, let me say this. We come from a long line of strength of people that fought for the rights of us to be where we are today. And you want to know how we pay them back? Twerking, showing our ass, not knowing our self-worth, and this goes for men and women. This is how we pay our ancestors back. And that's not even what they instilled in us. They instilled in us to be strong. They instilled in us to be resilient. They instilled in us to stand on business. They instilled in us to believe, to stand on everything that we believe in for the rights of Black men and women, boys and girls. And this is how we repay our ancestors. Sad. Last night when I talked about Florence Johnson, that woman didn't care. And her main question was, why are there not more people like me? Why are we not out here advocating for us? Why are we not collectively coming together as a people and fighting for the rights? I just don't understand. But then you want to be upset. Well, why we don't have this? Why we don't have that? You want to know why we don't have that? Because we can't stick together long enough to try to push things. Because we've become lazy, y'all. We become to a point where, oh, it doesn't matter. They don't care about us. If 2 women in Virginia can come up with the order of tents, and for those that don't remember who the order of tents are, this was started by 2 women who worked to get loans for Black people to start businesses, to provide food, health care, shelter. 2 women, 2 that were former slaves. 2 women. So can't no one sit up here and say what we can't do. Do you understand how strong we are together than we are separated? Like we are phenomenal together. We make magic when we're together. You know, when it's a lot of us, we make moves. We make big moves, major moves. The ancestors set the path for us to do this. Look at Oscarville, aka Lake Lanier, which is now Lake Lanier in Georgia. A community of 2,000 people, business owners. Y'all don't hear me. I don't think y'all really truly understand when I say history would be nothing without us. A lot of the things that people have today were on the strength of us. Your stoplight, your security system, dry cleaners, Black people. Let me say that we are some amazing people. I really wish we would start acting like we're amazing. I really wish Black people would stand in the mirror, y'all, and let me take a deep breath, because y'all know when I get on my soapbox, y'all know I get emotional. But when I talk about us, how beautiful we are, do you understand that we are the blueprint? Do you understand we can't be replicated? We started this movement. Our ancestors, our grandparents, our great-grandparents fought for us to be where we are today, and look at how we are. Y'all don't appreciate our Black history. Some of y'all don't. I won't say all, but some. Some of y'all don't appreciate our history. Everything that our ancestors and our elders went through put us where we are today. We are phenomenal people. We are amazing. I'm telling you, every time I do an episode and I talk about Black men and Black women, and I talk about how powerful we are, I get so sad when I look at what I see on TV and how we are portrayed. And y'all play right into the stereotype. I'm telling a story right now about 12 to 13, 12, 15-year-old girls who were incarcerated for 60 days in deplorable conditions, no food, no water, no toilet, and the parents didn't even know where their children were for 60 days. And the only way they found out was because a white man came and took pictures. And you mean to tell me this is how we move? We are strong. We are resilient. Do you understand? Do you realize Black Wall Street? We could rebuild that again if we could only stick together. If we could only stick together. Mufasa Ali, thank you for tuning in tonight. God bless you. He says true. Night Rider says way too many BP love integration and it doesn't work. We were never meant to be integrated with W people. People don't understand that. But they walk all over us and we accept it. Everything that we have in the world was built on our backs. We had schools, y'all. Black Wall Street. Let me just take us down memory lane. We had businesses. We had schools, hospitals, libraries. They're trying to make us, they want to erase our history. And we're going to let them. Because nobody wants to say anything, because it's not cool to get out there and fight and advocate for the rights of Black people. We don't even have a law. And they're still killing us in present day. We don't even have a law. But the Asians got a law. And who's targeted the most? The very same people that look like me and you. They always say, oh, if y'all just do what you're told. Okay, we've done that. We got to stick together. And not just when it's cool. We got to move in numbers. And we got to stick together. We got to make them listen to us. Okay, so we're not invited. We got to push our way in. Or we build our own tables. Sometimes we got to build our own house. But we're so focused on going where we're trying to fit in with everybody instead of going where we're celebrated and appreciated. The Leesburg Stockade Girls, they showed us that. Claudette Colvin showed us that. Rosa Parks was not the face of the bus boycott. She was not the original person, but a lot of y'all don't know that. Because that's what textbook taught you. Florence Kennedy stood for the rights of women, Black women. Debbie Allen paved the way for Black dancers. Felicia Rashad, Diane Carroll, the list goes on. Alexa Kennedy, Henrietta Lacks. I can go on and on. I can go on and on and on and on and on. When I did the story and I talked about Oscarville, which is now known as Lake Lanier, a city of 2,000 Black people, 2,000 Black people that were business owners, had their own businesses, until the white people say, we can't let them have that much power. So they flooded it. They lied and said these men raped a white woman. So they came and they burned it down. They drug one of the men's body through the town. And again, we don't do anything. The Leesburg Stockade Girls said, we don't care. We're going to go to the movies. We're going to stage a protest. And they were arrested and incarcerated for 60 days. 60 days. Mustafa says, hold it together, sister. When I tell you, when I talk about us, it sends a chill right up down my spine, because I look at us as a people and we are so beautiful. We are so amazing. We're smart. We're intelligent. But we walk around here like we're dumb. And that's how they want us to believe that we're dumb and we're less than. And we fall right into the stereotypes. But some of y'all ain't ready to have that conversation. See me, I'm going to have that conversation. See me, I'm going to wake stuff up like that. I'm here to offend. It doesn't matter to me. And I do this consistently. I don't do it because it's cool. I don't do it because, I'm trying to get likes and views. I do this because I live by this. I'm always stand on the side of right and wrong when it comes to us. I'm always hold us accountable when we're wrong. I'm always do that. Mr. Mustafa says we got trapped, and we're still trapped. We're still trapped. Mr. Mustafa says we are hostages with privileges, and we are. Everything that we see right now Who do you think they got it from? They got it from us. But they just had to put their name on it. And we allowed them. We still allow them to do that. Mr. Mustafa says, build a country within one, a righteous nation. Absolutely. Night Rider says, build our own. We have to know to do it. We've done it before and we can do it again. And we can. And it was successful. Lake Oscarville, successful. Tulsa, Oklahoma, successful. You cannot tell me that we cannot build our own community again. Schools, libraries, grocery stores, hospitals. Shall I continue? Night Rider says white rage and jealousy. And it still goes on today. Unfortunately, it still happens today. They don't want to see us get ahead. They don't want to see us doing better. We see this in corporate America. They'll hire someone that doesn't look like you with less experience and pay them more than you. And you'll train them. But I'll say that for a whole nother conversation. Mr. Mustafa says it's coming. They plot, but God is the best of planners. Everything happens for a reason. God allows it to happen. Amen to that. Amen to that. Night Rider says some BP, not all, but enough, have normalized our captivity. And they do. And they do. That's why when you look at these young ladies right here, they fought. And they withstood being 60 days in captivity. And even in present time, they still continue to fight. We just don't hear about it because you know what? It's not in our textbooks. So we won't know about this until we go to the library, right? Oh, that's right. They're destroying libraries. They're getting rid of them. So the Leesburg Stockade Girls, again, these young women were released and did not face any criminal charges, but were nevertheless charged a fee for their use of the facilities. So let me make this make sense. So you mean to tell me this group of protesters were arrested in July of 1963, okay? No formal charges, were never charged, were held in deplorable conditions, no running water, a toilet that didn't work. They slept on concrete floors. And then when they were released, they were sent a bill. How mighty white of them. How mighty white of them. Go figure. And like Mr. Night Rider said, 1963 was not that long ago. 61 years ago. Slavery ended 155, allegedly. Because we still see it. Look at your police officers. We still see it. In present day. And y'all not mad. Y'all not upset. Y'all still not trying to collectively come together and build our own? Really? Gotcha. So Night Rider says, there are also too many gatekeepers for WS among BP, too many sellouts. Absolutely. But you know, Night Rider, that's the way that they have us conditioned. And we still live in the crabs in the barrel mentality, still. Sad to say. And with the lineage of people that we come from, we come from some survivors. We come from resilience. We come from strength. We come from power, baby. But y'all refuse to utilize it. I tell y'all all the time, you have a gift. You have a purpose. Use it. Use that. Knight Rider says legalize slavery, 13th Amendment. Oh, yes, very familiar. We have all these gifts and these talents, and we continue to waste them. Why? What are you afraid of? I want each and every person, go read about our history. And I don't mean the textbook history. I'm not talking about what they teach us in school. I'm talking about go learn your real true Black history. Everything that I've discussed still goes on in present day. They still have these little sundown towns, aka Lake Lanier. The ancestors have told y'all, stop going. But y'all continue to go. So going back, here's another story with regards to the Leesburg Stockade Girls. And we're going to get back into the conversation. Oh, it's not over.
So this is where you
This is where we lived.
When Shirley Reese was just a teenager, she was brought here to what's known as the Leesburg Stockade in Leesburg, Georgia. It was July 1963, the height of the civil rights era.
This floor is a lot nicer than
Oh my God, yes. This was filthy. You had blankets, dirty blankets when we came in here.
Shirley just turned 75, but has never forgotten the stockade. She was one of 14 girls ages 12 to 15 that were brought here. Shirley and some of the others tried to buy movie tickets at a theater window reserved for white people in Americus, a small town in South Georgia, not far from Leesburg.
During that time, blacks were not allowed to go through the front door of the one theater.
But when she and the others tried to buy tickets from that window,
they called the police. He said, all of you all are under arrest.
Little did Shirley know, but Carol Barner Say had also been arrested days earlier during a march in Americus. She was 13 at the time.
Once you were in the paddy wagon, did they tell you why you had been picked up?
First of all, look at me. Look at me. And somebody owed me an explanation. They're going to give me an explanation.
Carol was jailed in Americus until the sheriff found another option.
The sheriff made a call to Dawson, Georgia. And he asked the sheriff there, hey, good buddy, could you house my niggers for a while?
Carol was briefly moved to a jail in not far away Dawson before eventually being taken to the Leesburg Stockade about 18 miles away. That's where she and the other girls spent 2 months, 60 long days in rough conditions, bugs, no beds, and no working shower or toilet.
No lights, no water to drink.
All they had were the clothes on their backs and some hamburgers delivered daily by a stranger. And the wrapping from those hamburgers?
The wrapping from the hamburgers we used as toilet paper. We never had a roll of toilet paper the whole time we was in there.
We had no idea where we were. We didn't know we was in Leesburg. You didn't want to go to no Leesburg. Leesburg was known as Lynchburg. They lynched black people on the trees.
Did you think you were ever going to get out?
I didn't ever think we would get out.
Until one day, a young photographer named Danny Lyons showed up. He was with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, which focused on student involvement in civil rights. Lyon had received a tip about the girls in the stockade. Carol remembers him signaling them with the peace sign and a single word, freedom.
If you lived in segregation, born in segregation, slept segregation, ate segregated, went to church segregated, freedom meant everything to you. You wouldn't have a reason to use that word if you was your color. But if you was my color, it meant a lot. Okay? That was a symbol to us that he was there to do us no harm.
Danny Lyons would come around the building. I was right here in this corner. I said, who are you? What's your name? He said, be quiet. I said, take my picture. This is where I was, right here.
I mean, just imagine this. In 1963,
That's
you were
right.
standing at these bars.
These bars.
Did it feel like a prison?
I was a prison.
The photos Danny Lyon took of the Leesburg Stockade Girls grabbed national attention. They were published in Jet magazine and eventually made their way to the halls of Congress, which took action.
They told them to release those girls immediately. And that's how we got out, because of Danny Lyons.
The girls were freed mid-September 1963 after missing for months.
My mom, she hugging on me. We've been gone for 2 months, and we haven't had a bath.
The Leesburg Stockade Girls were never charged with a crime. Carol says she has no regrets.
It should have made me bitter, but I stand here today to tell you it made me better, and it continues to make me better.
Shirley says it made her stronger. She graduated college and got a master's degree as well as her PhD. And about that young man, Danny Lyon, who photographed the girls all those years ago?
You're still in touch with him today, right?
Yes. And that's
Would you describe him as a friend? Or
Oh, my goodness. That's my best friend.
So this is what I mean when I say how strong we are as a people. Those girls, they were girls at the time. They weren't women, they were young girls between the ages of 12 and 15 who were incarcerated for 60 days. 60 days. And not one time did they ever complain. They got out. And like she said, it didn't make me bitter, it made me better. It made me stronger. And this is what I mean when I say we come from a lineage of people who have endured things that we wouldn't even be strong enough to go through in this day and time. So to see the things that we do as a people to each other, it makes me sick. Because this is not what they fought for. This is not what they laid out for us. You get what I'm saying? They wanted it to be better for us. But we can't see that. I look at, like I said yesterday, Tuesday, when I talked about Florence Kennedy. And God gave her the voice to stand on business for people that look like me and you. And no, I don't proclaim to speak for every Black person, but I'll fight for us. I'll advocate for us. And not because it's cool or because everybody else is doing it. I do it because I'm raising 3 Black children in this world. Do I want my children to go through what our ancestors went through? Absolutely not. Do I want to leave a legacy for my children? Do I want land for my children? Absolutely. I don't want Jordans for my children. I want something my children can own, something that can't nobody take away from them. I want to live long enough to see Black Wall Street rebuilt again. I want to live long enough where I see more Black schools, where I see Black-owned businesses. I want to see more of that. I want to see more Black entrepreneurs. I want to see that. I want to live long enough to a point where we finally can come together as a community and really thrive without all the hate. That's what I want to see for Black people. I was asked the other day, was I racist? And I said, why? Because I advocate for the people that look like me. Don't you advocate for people that look like you? So how am I racist? Because I'm going to always protect what looks like me first? Call me whatever you want. But I know where I come from. I know my lineage. So I'm going to stand on business when it comes to my Black men and my Black women. Oh, yeah, I am. I want beautiful and better for us as people, where we're not arguing and fighting and killing one another. I want to see that. I want us to be as strong and resilient as these Leesburg Stockade girls. Again, 14 young ladies incarcerated. 60 days. Night Rider says, Lake Lanier, like the elders used to say, stay away from there. Because, baby, if you notice, every time somebody goes to Lake Lanier, something bad always happens. Night Rider says, integration with the WP was not better, and it's still not. WP don't want BP to have anything. Don't believe it? Ask WP, do BP deserve reparations for the non-paid labors of our ancestors? And you know what? Night Rider, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I spoke on that when I talked about buck breaking. If you go back and you watch my episode on buck breaking, a lot of people were like, that just happened back. No, baby, that still happens today. But they don't feel like we deserve that. They really don't. They still have, the little sundown towns that we're not allowed to go in. I live in Houston, Vidor, Texas. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, Vidor's not right. Yes, they are. Drive through Vidor at night and see what happens. You have a lot of sundown towns. Jasper. Look what happened to James Byrd. They didn't teach you that in textbooks, did they? They didn't. So ask yourself, do you know your history? Do you know your real, true history? A lot of us don't know, because we're going off a textbook, because we don't go to the libraries anymore. Oh, that's right. They don't really have many around. And like you say in Night Rider, they still don't want us integrated. They still don't. Again, 1963 wasn't so far away. It wasn't so far away now, was it? And it's still going on. We still experience racism in present day. They still lock us up for no reason. Again, the Leesburg Stockade Girls incarcerated for 60 days. All because they refused to go to the back to buy tickets. They were going to make a way. And what happened? They locked them up. Claudette Colvin, I spoke on her for Black History Month. And this woman is well in her 80s and was just taken off of probation just a few years ago. She was arrested at 15 years old in Alabama, the Montgomery bus boycott. And the reason they didn't use her face is because, number one, she was 15 years old, she was dark-skinned, and she was pregnant, and she was loud. So they used Rosa Parks. She was married, she was soft-spoken, and she was light-skinned. This is still going on. Night Rider says there's a book on sundown towns. They are alive and well to this day. Absolutely. I'm about an hour and a half away from Viter. I'm probably about 2.5 away from Jasper. Very familiar. But these Leesburg Stockade girls, strength, resilience, courageous. So many names that I could give these young ladies that are still active today. Still active today. Just like the Order of Tents that was founded by 2 slaves to help Black people get business loans, provide health care, shelter, food. 2 women started that, who were former slaves. So if the Leesburg Stockade Girls could survive 60 days, and the Order of Tents, 2 women could start a secret society that still goes on today in Virginia, we could do the same now in present day. We could do that. So to the Leesburg Stockade Girls, another Black girl interrupted, hidden figure. Thank you for what you ladies have done. Thank you, ladies, for showing us what strength, courage, and resilience looks like. As we close out another episode of Black Girl Interrupted, not Black Girl Interrupted, as we close out National Women's History Month, I challenge everyone to find a hidden figure and do your research about that person. Learn your history. Learn what's fact and what's fiction. Learn about things that they don't teach you in textbooks. Teach your future generation their history. Don't be ashamed of where we come from, because look at where we come from. Ugly story with beautiful people. I love it. I love, 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 love it. I love our history. It wasn't always beautiful, but it made us strong. It made us resilient. It made us powerful. It gave us the strength to endure anything that's thrown our way. So absolutely, I will never be ashamed of my history. Again, it wasn't always beautiful. It wasn't pink roses and rainbows. But through those storms, it bred some amazing people, some icons that are very pivotal in Black history. Will I ever stop speaking about us? Not until God tells me I have to. Will I always have episodes like this? Absolutely. Will I always have uncomfortable conversations? Absolutely. Will I always hold us accountable without blaming anybody else? Absolutely. It's okay to hold Black men and Black women accountable, but can we do it through love? Can I correct you when you're wrong and you not be offended? See, some of us feel like we're above correction. No, you're not. You'll let the person that looks like this correct you, but you'll get upset when I do it. Why? Will the mentality of our people ever change? I hope so. Will we one day come together and unite for the greater of our community? I hope so. I pray for that every day. I look at us and I just, how beautiful of a people we are. No one can ever take our history away from us. No matter how many times they try to rewrite it, you'll never change the trajectory of our history. You'll never be able to take away what we paved the way for. You'll never take that from us. Do I want us to continue what road was paved for us? Absolutely. When I go back and I look at pictures of Chicago 1965, when I go back and I look at us in the 70s and how beautiful of a people we are, how beautiful our culture is, why can't we do that now? Why can't we come together as a people? Why? Why is every conversation disrespecting Black men and Black women? Why? Why do we still tear one another down? We've been beat down enough. Why do we keep doing it? Do I want to be a part of the change? Absolutely. Do I encourage others to be a part of the change? Absolutely. Because we have children that we have to leave something behind for, a legacy. We have to build a brand, leave a legacy for our children, for their children and their babies to come after and so on and so forth. Would I love to see Oscarville rebuilt? Absolutely. Would I love to see the towns rebuilt in Florida that were only for us? Absolutely, I would. But the only way that's going to happen is if we change our mentality. That's the only way it's going to happen. Through genuine love. That's the only way we're going to change. If we stop viewing one another as a competition and start viewing one another as, that's my brother, that's my sister, like Knight Rider said earlier, if we stop gatekeeping, you'll pay others, but you won't pay ones that look like you for the same information that you need. It's disheartening to me that we hold all this power, the knowledge, the strength and the courage, and we don't utilize it. We'd rather sit and talk about drugs and guns instead of empowering our communities. We'd rather stay separated than to rebuild our villages when communities cared. That's what y'all would rather do. I pray that before God takes me, that I get to see that. I pray that I live long enough to see the change that I want for us. I pray that God continues to give me the strength and the courage to empower somebody, to uplift somebody, to encourage you, to push you to your fullest and your highest potential, because I see your power. All of us are born with a gift. Some of us just refuse to utilize it. And that's the part that I don't understand. Maybe it's not meant for me to understand. I don't know. There's my brother. Let's get it. GA says 300 subs, sis. Congrats. I'm working there. I'm getting there. You know, I'm getting there. Night Rider says, wonderful job, sis. Keep up the excellent work. Love your passion for your people. Absolutely. Because if I don't care about us, who does? If I don't speak for us, who does? If I don't get out here and march and protest and advocate for us, who else does? I want to protect the rights of us. I want change for us. I want laws set forth for us. Do I want reparations for us? Absolutely. We're owed that. Do I want my 40 acres and a mule? Hell, I want 80 and 2 mules. How about that? Night Rider says the love of money and materialism is a big issue in the community. Absolutely. And that's how they get us. That mighty dollar, the root of all evil. And we play right into it every time. When are we going to change? When are we going to wake up and grow as a people? Please let that happen. I pray to God every day. Please let that happen before my eyes close. Please let me see us marching and protesting and fighting for change and communities being rebuilt. I'm so tired of driving through my old neighborhoods and I see all these abandoned houses, vacant buildings. That could be for the greater good for our community. I want more Black banks so we can get more loans to open businesses without all the red tape. I want more doctors, lawyers, police officers, firefighters that look like me and you. I want more of that. I really wish we would love ourselves more than what we do. I really wish that we would value ourselves more than what we do, especially Black women. That's what I want for us. I love y'all so much, and I don't even think y'all even understand the love, the capacity of love that I have for our community. That's why I do what I do. That's why I have these conversations. That's why I bring these topics. Because I know we're better. We're not what you see on TV every day. I pray for constant change. More love, more respect, and strength. And those are my final thoughts for tonight. So for the upcoming episodes for Black Girl Interrupted next month, it's going to be very triggering, but we are getting into sexual assault awareness next month. As I stated earlier at the beginning of the show, will I be speaking with regards to Sean Puffy Combs? Absolutely. Absolutely. I will be speaking on incest. I will be giving my 2 cents on the Nickelodeon documentary, Quiet on the Set. That will be a 2-part episode. And I won't just be speaking about women, I'll be speaking on men as well. Because men are sexual assault victims as well. And to the men that are victims of sexual abuse, I see you. I'll be the voice for you. I'll be advocating for you. So it's going to get real deep next month for April. I'm already getting choked up and emotional on the inside right now, just even thinking about next month's conversations. Night Rider says there was a time when Black people were self-respecting, dignified people. We've got to find our way back to our morals, ethics, and values. Night Rider. Thank you. Because we were. Go back and look at some of those pictures from the 1960s and how well-to-do Black women dressed and Black men dressed. We don't even carry or conduct ourselves in appropriate manners. And then you wonder why they call us animals. We act like it. And I'm with you. I don't know where we got lost. I don't know what happened. But I pray, like Knight Rider says, that we find our way back to morals, ethics, values, and respect. Not only for us, but for others. Because there is none. Absolutely not. Hmm. Again, I just want to say thank y'all for all the love, all the support that y'all show me every week through each and every episode. I am forever grateful and humbled by the love that y'all pour into me each and every episode, even outside of Black Girl Interrupted podcast. Again, catch Black Girl Interrupted streaming live every Tuesday, every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time, streaming live to YouTube as well as Facebook. If you are not a visual person, you can catch tonight's episode and any past episodes on any streaming platform, Google, Apple, Spotify, where else? Everywhere. Just if you type in Black Girl Interrupted. Again, the website is now up. Let me go ahead and post the link down at the bottom of the screen. The website is www.bgipodcast.org. You can sign up to receive your monthly newsletters. You can sign up to stay up with all the current events. You'll also be notified when the merchandise for Black Girl Interrupted podcast will drop. We're looking for that sometime this summer. Don't have a definitive date. We're just still trying to work out all the logistics, but stay tuned for all the great and beautiful things that are to come for Black Girl Interrupted podcast, because I'm about to take it to another level. Again, today is Thursday. I hope everyone has a beautiful weekend. I pray that everyone gets a chance to relax, relate, release, and reset. Don't carry what happened yesterday into tomorrow's day, because you can't change what happened today. Just focus on tomorrow. Whatever storm you're standing in the midst of, I pray that you grow through. Not go through, but grow through. I pray that whatever hump is keeping you hindered, I pray that you get over it. I pray that you learn how to move around it. I pray that you learn how to stay the course and not give up just because you fall down. I pray that you stop viewing one another as a competition and as your brother, as your sister. I pray that you allow God to move on his time and not yours. I pray that beautiful prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. I love you guys. I will see you guys Tuesday. Please take a break. Y'all, please decompress. Please take care of your mental. You Black men, let me say this to you. I love you. When the world says you're not enough, I feel like you're everything. Black men, if you are struggling mentally, please go get help. Please do not suffer alone. Please, please, please. Please know that you always have a safe space here on Black Girl Interrupted podcast. This is a judgment-free zone. Please, Black men, I want you to know that I advocate for your mental health. I want you, Black men, to know that as a Black mother, I apologize to my Black women. Hold your head up and adjust that crown, and please walk like the queen that you are. Please know your self-worth and your value. Please, 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 ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself and put yourself first. Don't worry about what others have to say. I say you're everything, and I feel like you're great. I love you guys. Again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Black Girl Interrupted. I will see you guys next Tuesday, same time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time. Again, every Tuesday, every Thursday. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitter. Well, I'm not really on Twitter, but stay tuned in with me and you'll know everything that's going on. I love y'all and I hope everyone has a beautiful weekend, and I'll see y'all next week. Love you.